Welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Canal Days on Unitarian Universalist, St. Paul's Church of Palmer, in Palmer, Massachusetts. I am your host, Carrie, along with co-host and founder of Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Como. As your personal tour guide, Robert will lead you through historic sites and landmarks throughout New England's preeminent and pivotal state of Massachusetts. For more information and to find the entire Canal Days series, go to holyokecanaltour.org, and there you can also book private tours scheduled tailored to your interests, and check out his 2025 schedule for his in-person public tours he offers. Now, Robert, what architectural design is this church, and what stone was used to make it?
It's a Gothic Revival style church. You can see by the pointed windows of the fenestration, and also it looks like it's made out of granite, a lot of gray granite, but there's a possibility that's really schist. So I'm going to go close to it later and give you a picture of it. Okay, so here's a nice back entrance. Look how gorgeous they made that. So it's almost like a flying buttress in the intent. And it has spires on top of it. Right, and yes, Gothic Revival has a nice steeple to it. The roof of it looks to be slate, and there used to be a bell up there. I think it's gone. And it has a clock. And the town probably paid them to have that clock so people knew what time it was. So it's very high up. Alright, so I'm going to walk around this direction for you and hopefully come back same point. And there'll be pictures on the web pages for this church. Alright, it has some stained glass window on this side. It's very simple though on this side. And there's the big sign. So here's the name of the church and the cornerstone. St. Paul's Universalist Church, 1879. So the church is 146 years old at this point. And has its name here. It's joined forces with the Unitarian denomination. And a lot of that happened. Unitarian Universalist, St. Paul's Church of Palmer, Massachusetts. Simplicity is sacred. It has a memorial stone in front, and look at that gorgeous steeple, very high up there. And this side, it looks like asphalt, shingle, yep. But on anything that's extremely vertical, they've kept the slate. And so they have a secondary spire off to the side. So we're on Park Street in Palmer, between Central Street and Walnut Street. And we're now onto the third side of the building itself. And one of these, probably this one, is a social hall. I noticed they probably have a daycare here. Okay, so you've seen the four sides of the church now. Now this whole town block is probably belonged at one time to the church. So this must have been a minister's house at one point. And there's a lot of Victorian homes around this block. Some are simple, but some are fairly elegant. Okay, and here's the parsonage, St. Paul's Unitarian Universalist Church, founded in 1876, and a minister would live here. St. Paul's Fellowship House. Yeah, and this must be a social hall. It's very empty inside there. It's like a group hall. Yeah, St. Paul's Church Fellowship Hall. And this was built onto the minister's home and has a separate cornerstone for itself. It says Fellowship House 1960. Okay, and you have a beautiful back here like I mentioned before. Okay, so we've come around that square all the way back to the church itself. And thanks for coming along.